are you doing today? Well, so I have been thinking that not enough people are standing up and talking. We've got some, but not enough. And, people teaching, whatever. I don't even really care about it, and I'm not going to talk about anybody because that just doesn't matter. I think anyone who's reading the Word, which is more than that Bible that they threw out for you to read to control you, it's more than that. And anybody that was reading that, it's cool with me. I'm all for it. But I'm here to say that, first of all, in Exodus, Miriam was a prophetess, okay? Deborah was a judge. So I took New Testament epistles. I studied it. And the answer on the exam, a question on the exam, was, did Paul write it? And after reading it in the Greek and reading it in English and comparing translations, I do not believe that he started a new religion. I don't. First of all, it was all in Hebrew first. It was in Hebrew before it was in Greek. Paul was the most Hebrew because he studied under Gamaliel, whatever his name is, Gamaliel, who also studied under Hillel, who happens to be the snake in disguise, who says he's a Pharisee, but he's not a Phares. He's a Perez, a P-E, not P-H. Doesn't have the ha in it, which is, I don't know that one yet. I'm gonna get there. I took a year Hebrew. I spent 3 years in seminary. I learned Hebrew, and I learned that everything that I grew up with is typical of a Hebrew. Things that my grandparents raised me. Put this over here. Try to do this. My grandparents raised me, and I grew up in Metairie, Louisiana. By the time my mom, when I was a little girl, my grandparents did not say anything about their heritage, because I believe now, after all the research that I've done, that my uncle was killed. I do believe it. He managed to survive. I'm going to get the report, but from what I remember, he managed to survive the car hitting him, and then a cop hit him, I'm pretty sure, after he survived the first hit, which he was going to get our land back because the Springers owned the port of New Orleans. They had, the Union was theirs. It's written on a newspaper article, but it says George. They were all brothers, and my Uncle Merlin, he was the boss, and my grandfather, he was like a merchant marine, longshoreman. My grandma did the books, and I grew up with them, and they loved me unconditionally. They loved me so much, but every night my grandmother would pray with me, and it was a little prayer, as the kids say, now I lay me down to sleep. Well, she'd make me say that every night. From the time I could speak, I was praying. And being 2 or 3, I remember I had some tragic things happen, but I'll tell you all about it. I'm going to be giving my testimony so that you can know that anybody, if I can get to where I'm at, which I don't have much, I don't have wealth financially, but I have the joy of the Ruach HaKodesh. I have it. I've been baptized in Him, and you can't buy that, and you can't take it away. And I'm going to tell you all about it, because I like Ezra says, I escaped danger every moment. I still do. I have near-death experiences all the time. It's normal. All these storms that have come, I live in Slidell, Louisiana, which is on the water, and it's underground. We heard a couple of lightning strikes. I have a picture of when a blizzard was trying to hit us, coming straight towards us, and it looks like a hand is holding it back. It's pretty cool. I have some pretty cool things happen to me, and it's time for me to open my mouth and do what Yah's called me to do, which is preach and teach, and I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to say anything that I don't know for sure, because at least you open your mouth and be a fool. I'm not a fool. And if you don't like what I have to say, then don't listen. If you leave nasty comments, I'll turn off the comments. I'll disable comments. But if you want to communicate with me, I'll try to do that. But I really don't have time for meaningless or you know what I mean. I don't have time for baloney. It's time to work. The harvest is plenty and the workers are few. So, are you ready to take a journey with me? Because I'm about tired. When I heard Kanye and Kim were having church, no. I said, no. I'm getting back on Instagram. I have my little followers. I'm shadow banned on most things because I speak the truth and I promote truth. I look at all aspects of things. The word comes first, but the word tells you what's going on now, everything. There's people that are involved in religion and I do not get it. I don't get it. My grandfather made sure that I was away from religion. He insisted that the devil was there. And that's my grandfather, who turned out to be very Hebrew, who married a very Hebrew cousin, my grandmother. And my DNA test proved it. My DNA test also proved that my ancestors originated in what they call the Levant. Okay? And I'm planning on finding a way to exit in case things go down in this country. We are one vote away from total chaos. Do you understand that? Right? Or are you just watching TV and believing that? If you don't know already that the people on TV are all paid actors, okay? They're actors. They're actors on TV. And the word church is not in the Bible. The Bible is written the translations that you get are based on bad Greek, which was Hebrew. They don't tell you this in seminary, but I learned on my own. The guy who had the testis receptus is what they go off of to give you your English translation, was a bad botched job that Immunus, I can't pronounce his name. His name is spelled Onimus. He went to Israel and he found a Nazarene, and a Nazarene helped interpret it, turned it into Greek. But it was all Hebrew. It was written by Hebrews. It was for the Jew first, and then the nations. And there was someone who was translating the Bible into Greek, who was doing it precise. But this guy who started the church wanted to go ahead and get his version out first. So everybody accepted his version because he was involved in the church, which they made up. They waited till the last apostle died. John wasn't in a church. He didn't mention church. Paul didn't either. It's an assembly of called out ones, and everyone should speak. And no one should be paying tithe. No. You put money in the storehouse, in Yah's storehouse, and you help the orphan and the widow. You know, all these people, Hillsdale, Kanye, what are they doing? They're mocking. Because if you're not preaching repentance, because the kingdom is near, and many are chosen, no, many are invited and few are chosen. I know where I'm going. I have assurance. I want you to have assurance. And we're going to go through some hard text, and I'm going to finish telling you my testimony. But I'm going to leave it here for now, and I look forward to talking to you soon.